Ring-a-ling! The lunch bell rings out loud and I hurry to collect my books. I need to ask the teacher something before she can bolt from class. Sometimes she runs from class so quickly. If I didn't know any better, I would say she was trying to get out of answering my questions. How am I supposed to get ahead if she doesn't give me the homework early? Sarah, you're already 2 weeks ahead of class. Please just wait for them to catch up, she says. When I finally get to the lunchroom with the extra homework in hand, there's already a line formed. Great. Now I have to wait even longer before starting my next assignment. I always like to be ahead, and I never accept any grade less than an A+. I watch Mrs. Jones miserably hand out lunches to the students in front of me. That's why I keep my grade up. I do not want to end up serving lunches. When I'm finally about to get my food, Eric, who has somehow managed to wheel his way to the front of the line, drops his plate everywhere. Mrs. Jones looks like she is going to pass out from anger, but Miss Smith runs in to save the day. She's always so helpful. That's who I want to be like. She always looks so cheerful and bright. She would never look as angry as Mrs. Jones does. I do wish she would hurry, though. I really want to get this homework done. Finally, Eric is cleaned and out of the way. I grab my tray from the fuming Mrs. Jones and go to my seat to work. I watch the clock working on my project. Sometimes lunch is such a waste of my time. I could be in class learning right now. Luckily, I only have 45 minutes left of lunch.
Ring-a-ling, the lunch bell rings and it's time to take the students down to the lunchroom. I try to get there early to make sure everything goes smoothly, but Sarah stops me to get her homework because she wants to work on it in the lunchroom. I'm used to students who never want homework, not students who ask for homework. I'm walking around the lunchroom monitoring things before I go to eat my lunch when I hear this loud crash coming from the lunch line. I go to where I hear the crash and I see that Eric has dropped his tray. It has gone everywhere. I instantly swoop in to help Eric. There is sloppy joes everywhere. It's on the floor, it's all over Eric. I start to clean it up off the floor and try to help clean it up off of Eric. It is just everywhere. I feel so bad. I notice Sarah behind me getting really impatient while cleaning this up, and Mrs. Jones just seems fed up. She always seems fed up and cranky. I never understand how someone just doesn't love children. I finally get Eric cleaned up and clean up the mess. I get Eric new food and take him to his seat. I carry the tray for him because I don't want another accident. Now I am finally able to go eat my own lunch. Only 45 minutes until we are back in the classroom learning.
Ring-a-ling, there's that dreadful noise that reminds me of the torture that I am about to endure from these loud, rambunctious, messy children. I hurry to get all of the food pans ready for me to serve. The only thing that is going to get me through these next few hours is knowing that I will be getting my paycheck at the end of the day. I am so behind on the never-ending bills that I have to pay. In a matter of minutes, the first child approaches the lunch line. I was surprised to see that it was Eric because it normally takes him a while to wheel himself to the cafeteria. I just know that he's going to hold up my line and make me behind schedule. I look at these children lining up and I desperately want to tell them that an education is a waste of time. I got my education and look where that got me. Serving a bunch of annoying kids disgusting food. I scoop some sloppy joes onto Eric's tray as he asks me how my day is going. It's been better, I say. I hand his tray back to him, and just when I thought he had a good hold of it, it spills all over his lap and the floor. Great, just another mess that I have to clean up. These darn kids are always making messes. I notice Miss Smith with her perfect clothes and her perfect smile come running up to save the day. I don't think that woman ever has a bad day. As Miss Smith is helping clean Eric, I notice that Sarah is waiting in the back of the line impatiently while carrying her 50 school books. Can you hurry it up? I got a whole line waiting to get food, I asked Miss Smith. Finally, after what seemed like eternity, Eric gets out of the way so that I can finish serving these kids some lunch. Only 45 minutes until this nightmare is over.
Ring-a-ling, there it is again. I never know how lunch is going to go. Am I going to get cut in line and made fun of, or are my classmates going to be nice today and help me get my food? I wheel myself down to the cafeteria with no problem today. I get in line and no one really talks to me, but I can hear my classmate Sarah behind me. I know she's talking about me again. I hope it's nothing bad though. I can't help that I'm in this chair. Finally, I'm to the front of the line. Today's lunch is sloppy joes. I just knew it was bound to be a bad day as soon as I saw the menu. Grumpy old Mrs. Jones asked me if I want a bun or not. I answered yes, and when I tried to reach up and grab my tray, Down it spilled all down the front of me. Great. Just great, I thought to myself, and I sat there with sloppy joe spilled on the front of me. My clothes were stained, I smelled, and to be honest, the food burnt my lap a bit. Worst part about it, I wasn't surprised it happened. When no one offered to help me get my food, I knew something bad would happen. It wasn't the first time my food had spilled on me, but I sure do hope it was the last. Mrs. Smith came into the line, helped me clean up a bit, and got me another tray of food. I know I shouldn't get upset about my teacher helping me, but for once I wish it were a classmate instead. I roll on over to the table and eat lunch by myself. I wish for just one day everyone else could feel how I do. Sitting alone at lunch, having kids make fun of you constantly, and always having the teachers help you instead of a friend. It really isn't fun, but I suck it up and enjoy my lunch.